Well, good morning, peace, y'all. How y'all doing? It's here we are, a little RPM update from the engineering desk here at RPM Worldwide, RPM Global. Yeah, a little update. First of all, we're gonna start out with some thank yous. Thanks to my buddy Chuck Alban, Bob Cole, Bob Kurkowski, Alan Brasher. Uh, the last couple of guys there helping us with getting the cones put out, spray painting the cones so you can see them, which was a Larry Rumsey idea. He brought some spray paint last year, but it was so cold the paint didn't work so well. So thank God for blessing us with a just a beautiful day, weekend, couple of days after. It was really cold. We get leading up to heading out there on Friday last week, but here we are a week later. Sun's out again. It was frosty cold out there. It was teasing the little ones on their way. My niece and nephew live next door on their way to the school bus. To go, can you see your breath? You know, they had winter hats on and stuff. It was cold out there. So we're heading into that time of the year, right? Thanks to Larry Rumsey, who took a bunch of pictures on his brother Wayne's camera, and thanks to Wayne, who emailed a bunch of those pictures to me. Some of the photos I took myself with my own camera. I'm sorry, my brother Richard's camera. But that would be the pictures of the trees and the colors and stuff. A couple of pit pictures, you know, paddock pictures. But and one more exciting thing before we close out the year in track day testing, whatever you want to call it. I've been thinking about this for a while. We used to do lunch all the time, and it was becoming more and more of a problem. So for a while there, I had Kurt, the one of the brothers, brother lives out at the gate, that owned the track, do the brisket, right, which was good. I mean, if there's anything left, I get to take it home. You know, we get to eat it at home, put it in the freezer, whatever. It's the gift that keeps on giving. And it wasn't all that outrageously expensive, but he got kind of tired. He doesn't just do it for us; he does it for everybody because he likes to cook. He's like me; he's a big guy, and he's big because he likes to eat what he cooks. Right? Who doesn't? So a couple of times he said, "Listen, I'd really prefer if you guys just did something else or whatever, because I really just don't feel like cooking this time." And you know, Kurt's had some issues with some prostate cancer and stuff too. So I get it, man. I get it. Sometimes you just wanna sit back and smell the roses, so to speak, right? So I've been thinking about this for a while. Had a couple different guys that came up with us, cut them a deal on their track fee to drive their cart. And little Kevin, for instance, Kevin Gillen, he cooked a bunch of hot dogs for us. We even forced the cooking onto my buddy Chuck once, who doesn't even have a go-kart, right? So there was nothing to bribe him with or motivate him with in that aspect. So before the end of the day, I bumped into to Max and Sarah Pasteiner standing over by the old concession stand, and I was walking by and I said, "Hey, you two, I want to talk to you before the end of the day," you know, giving them the, you know, and they were like, "Oh, what, gee," you know, but they didn't know it was going to be something, I think, good for all of us. And I'm excited about this now that I think about it. Near the end of the day, we talked, and Max and Sarah were there, and I'm looking at the both of them, and I said, "You know, Max, how often are you be able to do these track day things regular?" Because he had a little problem with his work, having to do some, I believe it was inventory or something, right, or whatever, that required him to work that weekend, and then he ended up doing whatever he needed to do to get the Saturday off to be able to come up. And he said, "Yeah, no, it's just because of this inventory thing, but generally, no, it's not a problem for me to be able to get up here and do these things. Why?" And I said, "Well, I'd be willing to cut you a deal." And then I looked at the boss, Sarah, right? And I said, "Would you be willing to buy the food and cook the food and serve the food?" And I looked at Max and I said, "In return, I'll give you, you know, you free. You'd be able to bring your cart and drive your cart for free." And I mean, before I could hardly get the words out of my mouth, Sarah says, "Yes." I said, "Wait. You need to understand. There's more to it than buying hot dogs and buns. You know, you got to set it all up. You got to cook it all up. You got to buy enough for everybody, which means 99% of the time you're going to have stuff left over, which they bought it. They get to take it home with them. There were times, I'm telling you folks, where I ate hot dogs for 3 days after one of these gigs. So, you know, I said it was the gift that keeps on giving. Sometimes you just get tired of hot dogs. You know, you can't freeze hot dogs like you can freeze brisket and then take it out 3 months later. And, oh, man, remember that great smoked brisket that Kurt made. So, but they accepted, and we worked it out. So, that's super cool. Thanks, Max and Sarah, for taking that on. Even though you think you're getting a deal, I'm getting a deal. I'll gladly pay that driver fee to not have to worry about it. You know, the food will be there. It'll be set up. It'll be cooked. Yeah, it's super cool that these young folks are stepping up and getting involved, which is cool. It's all good, right? So that'll be a cool new thing for next year. Be interesting, be just as interesting to get to the track and you know, see how the new paving is holding up, how the old new paving is holding up, and how the old paving is holding up throughout the year, and what's going to be for lunch, what's on the menu, right? So something else to look forward to. Little update: we got through the track day. Me personally, the no seat thing. I'm 50-50 on this thing. I don't fit in it properly. If I fit in it properly, maybe I'd have a better assessment of it. I like the idea that I'm a lot lower. In the photographs, you can see, man, I am right down in there. I would show you some pictures if I had something right here. Right, I think I can pull it up for you anyway. It seemed like the steering wheel was too close. I mean, it didn't seem like it was. The steering wheel was too close and the pedals were too close, which meant that seat back that we put in was obviously too far forward. We didn't, meaning me and Richard, I didn't interpret the marks he put down inside the cart when I was laying there, or he didn't. Maybe he was, you know, being a little generous or something. I don't know. But side to side between the chain guard and the fuel tank, moving the fuel, that all kind of worked out okay. We need some kind of relief cut in the tank because the bone on the outside of my elbow was just flaming, swollen, and hurting. You see in that break-in video where I went out and came back in and swapped elbow pads, and then Bob got me another pad for this side. The damage had already been done. So I went out, I think 2 or 3 more times, doing different things with the carburetor and stuff until I think we got it absolutely right and we figured out what was going on. But the damage had already been done. And the last time out, I put a piece of padding, 1/2-inch foam that we've been using on the tank with the elbow pad. And now I was so close, I couldn't hardly turn my arms, you know. And we tried the old orange helmet, which made it impossible to see where we were going. So everything was botched in the last run. I don't even think we posted that one up because it was pointless. But so what did we learn? The seat needs more work. We can fix the steering wheel being too close real easy. We can't fix the pedals being too close real easy. And to make it right would be to re-engineer that backrest, which incorporates the headrest and the water bottle and everything. And so that's not an easy fix. So what we did is we got home, we offloaded everything, we got the cart out, we pumped all the water out, me and Rich, and pumped 20 below zero antifreeze into it, and there it'll sit for now. If we get time between finishing the special project and Daytona to work on it and make a decision, by then it'll be long after, and I've been telling everybody, I'm going to wait until this election happens to see what our country is going to do. I know a lot of you think, oh, that's hogwash, you know, just make plans and do what you're going to do. Life is life. You have to be happy, blah, 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 blah. Listen, for Randy and Glenda, who are watching right now, my buddy Joe Wallace and his wife, Steve Pasteiner and his wife Jan, John DeBatz and his wife Valerie, these are all Bible-believing, reading Christian people who understand, just like I do. I take that book literally, okay? When it tells you these things are going to happen and we see them happening, I get up on springs, okay? So you can say, oh, well, you got to live your life, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, well, if that's your angle, then cool. I don't make my decisions in life that way anymore. I don't follow my own rules. I follow what my creator is telling me to do and moving me to do. So that's where we're doing. I'm going to wait till after this election to find out if gas is $8 a gallon or something, I think a whole bunch of people aren't going to go to Daytona. But anyway, so that buys us time. If we've got a 2-week, 3-week window before Daytona to readdress this seat and stuff, then cool. But right now, October 28th, I'm going to tell you, I am 99.9% sure I'm not going to Daytona. Unless something drastically changes. But all the time we have right now, between now and the beginning of December, which is almost the entire month of November, we have a plan. We have things in order, in place. We're going to knock this special project thing out and get that to its owner, because it is going to go to Daytona regardless of what happens. He's made his choice to do what he's going to do, which is fine. But we want to get the cool, nice piece that we had envisioned physically manifested, done and delivered. So and that's it. That's our update for right now. We kind of just plugging away. We got some heat for the garage. It's not fantastic. It isn't what we ideally wanted, but I'm struggling because we're renting. Sherry's car accident from 2 years ago, the case is finally over. So now we can really start to look at buying a property of our own instead of renting here. Renting handcuffs you. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me to put a bunch of money into a place that we're just going to end up walking away from and not be able to dig that money that you spent back up and take it with you. So putting a gas line in and hot air and insulating that garage and making it proper just doesn't make any sense, fiscal sense. It's just not smart. So we'd rather wait and spend that money on our permanent place. So, which could be coming very soon. It depends on how sick and tired we get of what's happening here in the world, in our neighborhood, right here on our intersection. The youth seem to be rising up, more and more defiant, I guess you'd say. There's almost no rule of law. It seems like cops roll through here and don't do anything about all the illegal activity that's going on. The entire neighborhood stinks like a skunk. It's just things that I guess as you get older, you get a little more intolerant of this stuff. So there you go. That's the full update. RPM's biblical, personal, racing, and wintertime schedule all in one show, all in 13 minutes and 22, 23, 24 seconds. Godspeed. God bless y'all. We're praying for you. Pray for me because we need it too. We're all going to need it soon. But it's like we say, we promise that everything's going to get better. And it will. It will, because Jesus is coming. That's a guarantee. So y'all, this was a cool picture, wasn't it? That was a cool picture we got going there. Hang in there, y'all. Like I said, it'll get better.